All right, guys, so in our last lesson, we talked about position or striking from this position, transitions from this position as well. And then we're going to work on a quick submission from this position. It's actually an arm lock from this position. So what I want to do is I want his elbow down, his hands up towards his head, right? And if I need it, how I get it there can be strictly up to me. I can force it, right? I can just reach and grab this wrist and force it down and pin that arm down. And I want to grab his wristwatch. If you had a wristwatch right here, I'm going to grab his wristwatch with my thumb pointed towards his elbow, my pinky towards his hand. I'm going to reach underneath his elbow, and I'm going to grab my own wristwatch. So I'm going wristwatch to wristwatch, or wrist to wrist, whatever you want to use to remember that. But I'm going to grab his wrist, and then I'm going to come up underneath, and I'm going to grab my own wrist. And you can see I'm kind of making this figure 4 with our arms, right? This knot. When I make this knot, I'm keeping my weight low. I'm going to pull his elbow down to his pocket. I want to pull his elbow down to his pocket. And by doing so, what that does is sets the shoulder, that AC joint, locks that shoulder into place and keeps the elbow stabilized. Once I have everything stabilized, I'm going to lift up and go for a tap. If I try to do all of this out here, up in this workshop, this no man's land up here, Leo is stronger up here, right? He has a lot more dexterity, mobility, and strength. His joints are a little bit more lined up. But if I suck that elbow down closer to his hip, and for some people this might just be enough anyways, with the shoulder impingement, that I get a submission. But if not, I'm still going to pull that elbow down towards their pocket, and then I'm going to lift up on that elbow, and I'm going to put pressure down on the shoulder or the elbow, kind of depending on where they feel it. Now, if you're training this with someone, I'm going to go slow. So I'm going to pull, lock, and slowly lift up, and they're going to tap, and they're going to tap early. When they tap, they're not tapping the ground, they're tapping me, so I know when to stop. In reality, if this was in a fight, in an actual situation of a fight, I would not make this movement slow, but I would make it aggressive and violent, and I would try to break joints or dislocate or tear ligaments. I would try to cause damage. But for your partner and your partner's sake, and if you're doing this on your significant other, please make sure they're tapping and tapping early. But I'm going to go wristwatch, pin it down. My hand's going to snake through underneath their arm and come back over, and I'm going to grab my own wristwatch. You can see both my palms are facing down when I make this grip. And when I make this grip, I don't have to grab. I can make what's called a monkey grip or a monkey hook. Hook both wrists, pull his elbow down to his hip, and then I'm going to lift up until they tap. That is a submission that I can do from this side control position. The best way to get in this position or get into this submission is to hit this person over and over and over again until they're covering up and their fight's no longer there. Then I'll go for the submission at the last second. Good work.